Good afternoon to one and all. I know how difficult it is to kind of settle in and focus. This is somewhat of a family reunion for those of us in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and we're so excited that each and every one of you is here with us this afternoon. I'm Christine Fowler-Mack, Chief Portfolio Officer for the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and I have the pleasure once again to serve as your Mistress of Ceremonies this afternoon. We are honored that each and every one of you has chosen to spend your afternoon here with us in support of our 11th annual Army of Believers Luncheon. I know that many of you have been here with us actually throughout the 11 years, so that is a testament. As we move into the order of the program, I would like to ask our CEO, Mr. Eric Gordon, to please come forth to the stage and bring the official welcome this afternoon. Would you please join me in welcoming CEO Gordon?
Thank you and good afternoon. See, we have to do this every single year. I'm a school person and it's going to be better than that, so we'll try it again. Good afternoon. There you go, there you go. Welcome to the 11th Army of Believers Scholarship Luncheon. I am super excited to be back here again this year. It goes so quickly. I'm thrilled to look out and see the ballroom full to its capacity again. Every year we worry that we're not going to be able to stay on this floor and push somebody upstairs, but we're filling it all the way to the brim and still keeping you here with us close. And so I really appreciate everybody being here in support of our scholars and in support of those we'll honor today for their long years of service on behalf of our scholars, their caregivers, and all of our district's educators. So on behalf of the district and our students, I want to welcome you, and please give yourselves a round of applause for your incredible support with your time and your generosity today. Today we'll be honoring part of our Army, the people who are behind us every day to allow our young people to succeed, and we'll also get to celebrate a number of our student scholars for the successes that they've already had and for the successes that they are prepared to access because of your support. And I want to welcome all of those we'll be honoring and our student honorees here today as well. I want to particularly welcome a few dignitaries that made time to be here today. First of all, the mayor of the city of Cleveland, Mayor Frank G. Jackson. Mayor Jackson, thank you for being here. Several members of the Cleveland Board of Education are here. I'll ask them to stand. Our chair is Ann Bingham. Ms. Bingham, thank you for being here. Our vice chair is Robert Hurd. Mr. Hurd, thank you. Our former chair and continuing board member, Denise Link, and her team from PNC. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. And Shalitha Mitchell, another long-serving board member, is here. And I hope I didn't miss any of our other members. We have 9 dedicated members of the Board of Education that serve your community. I want to thank each of you for your service and for your support here today. We are also honored today to have Cuyahoga County Councilman Michael Hauser here. If Mr. Hauser could stand and be recognized, thank you. Representing District 10 of Cuyahoga County. And a long-standing supporter, former educator, retired from Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and now representing the Ohio State Board of Education, District 11, Merle Johnson is with us today as well. So with no further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Ms. Christine Fowler-Mack, who will lead us through a tremendous day of celebration. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you, CEO Gordon. We are also honored to have with us here 2 very dynamic leaders in the Cleveland community who have agreed to serve as our honorary co-chairs for today's event. We'd like to recognize both of them at this time. Mrs. Marcia Maccabee, the president and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. So Marcia, would you stand? and Mr. August Napoli, President and CEO of United Way of Cleveland. So would he please, oh, he's already standing there. These dynamic leaders have made very special effort to be with us and really support the district in each and every way, every day. Marcia, we want to especially thank you for arranging your schedule to be with us. For those of you who don't know, this event is coinciding with the National Urban League Conference in Columbus, and Marcia drove up this afternoon, leaving the conference just to be here with us today. So that even more so shows your commitment. Together as co-chairs, these individuals are symbolic of the community partnership, collaboration, and joint forces that is vital to all that we do here in Cleveland. I'm going to ask Mr. Napoli to join me on the stage to speak to the occasion and to remain on the stage as we recognize our scholarship recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me again in welcoming honorary co-chair to the stage, both he and Mrs. Maccabee, for their hand in this occasion. Mr. Napoli. Okay. Sorry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, come on. You did it for Eric. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a day to rejoice. Thank you so much for having me here today. I am so honored and privileged to welcome everyone and to speak of the occasion. You know, with the launch of our new strategic 3-year plan at the United Way of Greater Cleveland, we've been putting a laser focus on two things. First, it's what the community needs. And the second is how can we use the strengths of our organization to marshal the power of many in this community to meet those needs. Because we know that we can't do it alone. It takes an army. So it's not just serendipity that has me standing here today. I am thrilled to be a part of an occasion that celebrates the very successful intersection of what the community needs and the collective power of what an army can achieve together. An occasion that rejoices in all that we can achieve if we put aside our own agendas and work as one to raise up the most precious gift we all share, a new generation of hope and promise. We are honoring those today at the very highest ranks, the foremost advocates and supporters of the hundreds of deserving students and the Cleveland Municipal School District. People who are, as a powerful cooperative, have given of themselves in whatever form to advance one of the worthiest causes, the support of education, the support of the education of our children. Beyond heartfelt kudos, we are also here today to use the strength of our voices to uplift our students. We want them to hear loud and clear that their quest for academic and personal achievement is worthwhile. So student scholars, hear this. You are supported, you are loved, and while the journey may be challenging at times, you must persevere because the path forward is one filled with unlimited promise. You can and you will succeed because we, your community, are the army of believers in you. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't applaud mightily the vast numbers of those who make up that army. This dedicated core of people has tirelessly invested in our students and our district, and they have made today's occasion possible. Their energy and commitment will surely propel our children, our students, and our community to great heights. Thanks to all of you.
That's awesome. We're going to, this afternoon, it is our distinct pleasure to award a total of 19 scholarship awards. This includes 7 awardees for the Army of Believer Awards, 7 Army of Believer Community Service Awards, 7 Lucarelli Awards, 1 Army of Believer Cleveland Foundation Superintendent's Award, and last but not least, 1 Cleveland Clinic Award. Again this year, all of our scholarship recipients will receive a $5,000 stipend scholarship award along with a technology award. This comes in the form of a brand new Macintosh Apple laptop computer with case, accessories, and a 3-year warranty to make sure they have what they need to support them as they go off to college. I love the look on their faces. That is worthy of applause because that is what this annual scholarship luncheon supports. So those of you in this room, again, applaud yourselves because you made this possible. At this time, I would like to bring Ann Bingham, our chair of the CMSD Board of Education, to the stage to join in the presentation of our student awards. As she comes to the stage, we would like to remind the audience, if you could, please hold your applause until all of the students' names have been called. It'll make it easier for us to keep the program moving. And students, if you would remember to please pause for a photo with the persons on the stage, and then at the very end, we're going to take a group photo of all of the students. So just remember, don't rush off. For all of you at your tables, again this year, if you could help us trend on social media. So for all of you tech savvy, media savvy, social savvy users, if you could bombard Twitter, Instagram, Facebook feeds with pictures and memories and mentions of today's event, we would appreciate it. The hashtag for today is hashtag AOB 2018. So AOB 2018 is our hashtag, and again, if you would make mention of that in all that you are able to spread the word about. Now on to our student awards. The first of our scholarships will be awarded to the 2018 CMSD Army of Believer recipients. As your name is called, please come forward and remain on the stage. Our first student coming forward is Rochelle Bradley. Rochelle Bradley is a graduate of John Marshall School of Information Technology, headed to The Ohio State University, majoring in pharmacy. The next recipient, getting ready to come to the stage, is Kamaya Smith, who graduated from John Hay Early College High School. She is headed to Kent State University and will be a chemistry pre-med major. Reem Atya is a graduate of Thomas Jefferson's International Newcomers Academy and is headed to the Cuyahoga Community College this fall and will be majoring in English as a second language / pre-med. Next, I would like to introduce Sandy One. Sandy One is a graduate of MC STEM Squared High School and is headed to Case Western Reserve University, majoring in English. Sandy. Not to be outdone in this very, very talented family, we'd also like to recognize Mandy One, also a graduate of MC Squared STEM High School, headed to Case Western Reserve University, majoring in engineering. Last but certainly not least in this category is Sierra Jones. Sierra Jones is a graduate of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, headed to Duke University. Major undecided, but with a very promising future. Please join me now in recognizing each of these 7 students. The next group of students, okay. They are going to remain on stage as we take all of the students together, but the next cohort of students are our 2019 Community Service Scholarship recipients. Our first recipient here is Trevor James. Trevor James is a graduate of Ginn Academy, headed to The Ohio State University. Will be majoring in criminology. Next, the very dynamic Jaslyn Rosario, who is a graduate of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, headed to Cleveland State University, and will be majoring in pre-med biology. Rounding off this cohort very capably is Kayla Thomas. Kayla is a graduate of the Cleveland School of the Arts. Kayla has a fan based in the back of the room. She is headed to Fordham University and will be majoring in dance. These 3 are our Community Service Scholarship recipients. This year, we will award 7 Samuel G. Lucarelli Army of Believers scholarships. This is our 4th year awarding this scholarship. These awards were made possible due to the $100,000 donation from the Lucarelli family. And you will recall that that was announced just a few years ago here at this very luncheon. Our first of those recipients is Rebecca DeMoss, who is a graduate of James Ford Rhodes High School and is headed to The Ohio State University and will be majoring in horticulture. Herbert Quothy is a graduate of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, is headed to Miami University, and will be majoring in biology. Jonathan Gardner is our next recipient. He is a graduate of Jane Addams Business Careers Center and is going to be going to the Culinary Institute of America and will be majoring in culinary arts. Yeah. Awesome. Next, we'd like to bring up Eduardo R. Williams Medina, a graduate of Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, headed to Case Western Reserve University, and will be majoring in biochemistry. Amanda Kong is a graduate of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, headed to Brown University, major undecided at this moment. Amanda. Next, we have Jile Zentunga, who is a graduate of Glenville High School, headed to the University of Dayton, and will be majoring in electrical engineering. Jile. Rounding off this capable group is Shalia Beard Howard, who is a East Tech high school graduate, headed to Cleveland State University, and will be majoring in international business. These are our Lucarelli Scholars. Now on for the Cleveland Clinic Scholarship recipient. We would like to recognize Destiny McCrory. Destiny is a graduate of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, headed to the University of Pennsylvania, and is going to be majoring in Africana and Gender Studies. Destiny. And our final student for this afternoon, representing the Cleveland Foundation Superintendent's Award, is Alice Hardy Evans. Alice is a graduate of the Cleveland School of the Arts and is headed to the Berklee College of Music and will be majoring in music therapy. So Alice. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your 2018 Army of Believers Scholarship recipients. In total, our largest class of Army of Believer recipients to date. Students, we have a name missing. So sorry about that. I bet this is Abraham. So we have to give Abraham a special round of applause. Abraham Lopez from Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, attending the Cleveland State University, majoring in biology. Abraham. Abraham, that just means you were meant for your applause all on your own and not the fledgling eyesight of the MC. Students, as recent graduates and now CMSD alums, we wish you the very, very best in your future endeavors. So you may now take your seats at this time. Wait. He just took a group. Now I'd like to call to the stage the Reverend Larry Macon Jr., co-pastor of Mount Zion Church of Oakwood Village, to please allow us to bless our lunch.
Let us bow our heads and pray. Heavenly Father, we come here today in recognition of our Cleveland Metropolitan School District, our students, teachers, administrators, board members, and our distinguished honorees and supporters. We ask that you will continue to empower them and to touch their lives through education and through service. May you bless everyone here today with continued health, wealth, and strength and love as we continue to live a life of purpose and promise. As we celebrate achievement and scholarship and gather as an army of believers, we ask that this food we eat today be blessed and be used to nourish our bodies. To the all-knowing and wise God we pray. Amen. Amen.
We also want to take a moment to give a very special thank you to the excellent service that we are receiving here at the Renaissance. So we want to really thank the men and women who have made this service so enjoyable. With that said, and without further ado, the annual Army of Believers Scholarship Luncheon, in addition to honoring our young people, also provides an opportunity for CMSD armies of believers to salute the most influential supporters among them, our five-star generals. At this time, I would like to bring to the stage CMSD Board Vice Chair, Mr. Robert Hurd, and honorary co-chair, Mrs. Marsha McAbee, along with CEO Gordon, to assist with the recognition of our five-star generals. Will you welcome them to the stage, please? The 2018 Army of Believer five-star generals. These individuals and institutions have provided exemplary service and support to the students, mission, and vision of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. I have the high honor to introduce these individuals and ask that you come to the stage when your name is read. Our five-star generals are, first and foremost, Dr. Ronald M. Berkman. As the sixth president of the Cleveland State University, Dr. Ronald M. Berkman championed innovative student success initiatives to help students graduate on time, with less debt, and fully prepared for career success. Among the other hallmarks of his tenure at CSU, which went from 2009 to 2018, were record-setting freshman classes, a $500 million campus makeover that you can see, the expansion of a cutting-edge research enterprise, and increased philanthropic support. Committed to creating a vibrant downtown neighborhood with CSU at its center, Dr. Berkman was also instrumental in the establishment of an education park that encompasses 2 Cleveland Metropolitan School District schools on the CSU campus, Campus International School and MC Squared STEM High School. Both of these nationally recognized schools are creating pathways to higher education for young students in our community. Campus International School won the 2016 Shirley Schwartz Urban Impact Award from the Council of the Great City Schools, a national coalition representing the largest urban public school systems in the country. MC STEM Squared High School was cited as a model STEM high school during the enhanced live stream of President Barack Obama's 2014 State of the Union address. All of this was made possible, and many other accomplishments that we won't capture here today, by the former president, Ronald M. Berkman. Dr. Berkman, we salute you. Once again, Dr. Berkman. Reverend Dr. Kenneth W. Chalker. Reverend Chalker's first direct involvement with supporting reform in the Cleveland Public Schools began with reform efforts under then former Mayor Michael R. White. During that time, his church served as the campaign center for this effort. Throughout 32 years of ministry in the urban core of our city, he made certain that his parish members participated in supporting a local Cleveland public school. He has been a staunch supporter of CMSD's leadership by serving on search teams for the CMSD superintendents, as well as making himself available to those leaders who have served at the helm of CMSD over these years. He has been active in every campaigned for school reform and operating levy, and has been deeply involved in efforts under Mayor Jackson and CEO Eric Gordon of the Cleveland Plan. Headquarters for the local effort of the school levy campaigns were housed in the church he served as pastor over that span of those 32 years. In this capacity, Reverend Chalker became a true champion of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. He strategically worked to bridge and close the gap between the school and community by inviting CMSD leadership to address his congregation on Sunday mornings to speak on the progress, the challenges, and the direction of the district. His commitment and his compassion to and for CMSD has not wavered and has truly stood the test of time. We are so pleased to honor Reverend Dr. Kenneth W. Chalker. Now on to Dr. Frank A. Fresser. For 40 years, Dr. Frank Fresser worked at the Positive Education Program, delivering on its mission to help troubled and troubling children learn and grow. Frank served PEP in many roles: in the classroom as a teacher, in the community as a case manager, as a program coordinator, and as an administrator at the central office. The last 20 of those 40 years were spent as PEP's CEO, where he led PEP to double in size and significantly expand its impact. Today, PEP employs 500 professionals and touches the lives of over 2,500 children and their families annually. CMSD has been an essential partner to PEP. As PEP CEO, Frank continually sought to find new ways to support CMSD and children. He personally provided training to district leaders and secured grant funding that allowed PEP to provide some special services to CMSD at no cost to the district. Frank led PEP to gain expertise in trauma-informed care practices, earning PEP unique certification in this area so that it can now share this learning with other peer professionals. He is the co-founder of Life Space Crisis Intervention Institute. LSCI is an advanced therapeutic strategy for helping challenging students. Over 50,000 professionals who work with troubled and troubling youth and children in the U.S., Europe, South Africa, and Australia have been certified in life space crisis intervention. We're pleased and proud to honor Frank M. Fresser. Rounding off our class, Dr. Robert L. Haney, MD. From a very early on in his 18-year tenure as Associate Dean for Student Affairs at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, Dr. Bob Haney has forged a lasting relationship with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. When he discovered that within a 25-year period, no student from the public school system had graduated from Case Western Reserve School of Medicine, and that less than 2 students in 50 years had attended the medical school, Dr. Hanius was curious and asked the question, why? This curiosity compelled him to visit the John Hay Cleveland School of Science and Medicine, a school virtually in Case's backyard. He went to the School of Science and Medicine to ask what it was that they needed, and from there, his long association with CMSD began. Within a short period, Dr. Haney has instituted a program called the Robbins Bridge Program, where medical students formed mentoring and tutoring connections with high school students at John Hay. The Robbins Bridge Program is a multi-tiered series of interactions between the high school and the medical school. Some of those interactions are writing workshops, CPR training, ACT prep classes, small group investigative symposiums, the format used by medical school learning via evidence-based inquiries, research, and didactic discussions. The Robbins Bridge Program has been sustained by each medical school class since 2006, and Dr. Haney has been its de facto spiritual and motivational leader since instituting it. He has also been a board of directors member of the Cleveland School of Science and Medicine's advisory board since 2007. Most recently, Dr. Haney's care and concern for the Fairfax area and the grade school students who occupied the space directly across the street from the Juvenile Justice Center has spurred him to form another partnership with the Bolton Elementary School. One of Dr. Haney's main objectives is to offer these students a different perspective of institutional life by means of education and not incarceration. On a weekly basis, or twice weekly at times, Dr. Haney puts his professional skin in the game by participating with Bolton staff and students. Currently retired from Case School of Science and School of Medicine, but working as an emeritus associate dean and professor at the medical school. Dr. Haney is a partner for life with CMSD, and we are so thankful to you, Dr. Haney. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand to your feet, take a photo, give loud round of applause to our 2018 Army of Believers 5-Star General awardees. Thank you. At this time, we have a special recognition tribute. So if we could ask for silence and if we could draw your attention to the screen, we're going to make a special recognition at this time. Should they go to their seats?
I first met Miss Dempsey. I was a councilman, and I remember her coming to my ward club to talk about an issue relating to the students that the state had passed around. And she was an advocate against whatever they were doing. And from that point on, I would see her at different events, always representing students, young people in the school district. And when I became mayor, I found her to be in the same mode of operation, very passionate, very aggressive, very intentional about her love and commitment for the children of the school district.
Louise was already on the board for 9 years when I came to Cleveland. Her son went to a CMSD school. She's a fierce advocate not only for him but for all kids. Because of Louise, we have a nationally recognized program with the Cleveland Bar Association, the 3 R's program. She has been part of getting the Cleveland Plan in place. 20 years later, as she finishes her 20th year of service, she's still just as hungry to do right by kids as she was the day I met her 11 years ago.
When she was first appointed to the board, it was just a few years after her son had graduated. So she looked at things through the eyes of a parent, and she did an awful lot to try to empower our parents and to make sure that our appointed board reached out to and listened to the parents as they did their work.
Louise has always been kind of a silent or distant mentor to not only me, but other school board members. Even as busy as her career has been over the years, Louise has always been dedicated to the students of CMSD.
I couldn't have been the chair without her as my vice chair. Louise is very committed to the Cleveland students, and also at a national level as one of the deans at the law school at Cleveland State. She also did a lot of work with the pipeline for minority students as well as women as lawyers. So, while she's working for the district, she's also working nationally to promote advocacy, for all people at many levels in education.
Louise is probably the most committed person to the school board I have ever seen. When the Cleveland Plan was being developed and she was scheduled to go to Columbus to testify in front of the state legislature about it, her husband had passed away not too long before that, and most other people would have said, I can't do it. It's too much, I can't do it. And Louise went. And I saw her not too long after that and said something to her about how incredible that was, what she did. And she said, but Ann, it's about the children. And to me, that is Louise Dempsey. It's always about the children.
I think one of the things that sticks out to me is how humble Louise is, and ironically, when we want to celebrate Louise would rather we celebrate others. And so for all of the times that people have tried to thank her for her great work, she's always found a way to turn it back to others who made that work happen. But this opportunity lets us formally thank her for the great work she's done.
Ms. Dempsey, I want to congratulate you on 20 years of service to the school district and the children of the school district. The work that you put in helping us not only develop the Cleveland Plan, but to ensure its success in Columbus as we needed legislation, and want to wish you a future that continues to be one that is involved with your passion and your commitment to children in the school district. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Louise. 20 years is really an amazing run, and so thankful serving with you on the board to help the children and the city of Cleveland move forward on an educational basis.
Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your leadership. I can't imagine what the board and the district would be like without you.
I want to thank you and congratulate you on your years of service with CMSD and your mentorship not only to students of the district, but to the adults of the district.
Thank you for 20 years of service to the Cleveland Board of Education, and I look forward to a whole lot more.
So every year since we have passed the Cleveland Plan, we've made a point to recognize and honor one of those that helped us move this aggressive, important reform agenda for Cleveland here at the Army of Believers with our Army of Believers Award. Last year we had the opportunity to recognize Denise Link, the chair at the time of the Cleveland Plan and a continuing board member. As you saw in our introduction of Louise, Louise has been absolutely clear that she does not want to earn an Army of Believers scholarship. And usually, or an award, excuse me, usually I do what my board members ask, or in this case, tell me to do. And this year, though, particularly as Louise completes 20 years of service on our school board, something literally unheard of in this country, we felt it very important that while we not do the formal ceremony that Louise humbly would not feel comfortable accepting, that we honored her. Louise was not able to be with us today, but I am going to ask that we're going to finish the video because the video is not actually finished. We need you. So you will see that there are cameras all over this room. And what is not yet in here is Louise's standing ovation to add to the video. Please join me in thanking Louise Dempsey for 20 years of service to Cleveland's children. So just to let you in on the secret, don't tell Louise, as our board resumes in the fall for our August session, which will begin the 21st year of her service on the board, your salute to Louise will be included in this tribute video, which our board chair and vice chair intend to share at the first public meeting for her 21st year. Thank you for including Louise in our ceremony today, and at this time, I will turn it back to our co-chair, Marcia Maccabee.
So, as a community educator, I try to never miss an opportunity for a teachable moment. And as you saw me take the microphone and step to the side, what I'm representing is a very important issue in our education community, and that's one of equity. Every guest before me has been able to stand at the podium and speak to the microphone. And I had to make an adjustment so that I could be equally as successful. That's what equity is all about. So we thank you so much on behalf of the Army of Believers Luncheon. We thank you so much for being here today, and the Urban League of Greater Cleveland has been a staunch supporter of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District when it was Cleveland Public Schools, when it was Cleveland Municipal Schools, and Cleveland Metropolitan School District. You know, we just, whatever form it's in, we're still supporting. And we do that with much commitment because all of the children of Cleveland are our children. I enjoy and appreciate working side by side with Eric on education reform issues. And we have a great leader that we get a chance to work with on a daily basis. I want you to do something at your tables. I know the room is filled today. We've had a great time, a great celebration. Congratulations to all the students who received those awards today. Can we give them another round of applause? Our futures look bright as we look at you. And we certainly hope that in your plan for those of you going away, is to come back to Cleveland and bring your talents back to Cleveland, Ohio. Now, finally, I'm going to ask you, you've sat, you've listened, you participated in your standing ovation, but I'm going to ask you to participate in a different way before we close today. By your presence here today, you've participated as a member of the Army of Believers. I'm going to ask that you turn to someone at your table and you repeat after me. Everybody has somebody at their table they can talk to? Okay, very good. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. I am committed to the Army of Believers. Not just today, but 365 days a year. I'll see you next year and bring someone with you. Very good, thank you. I'll end on this note because what I want you to be thinking of in these next 364, in case it's a leap year, more than that, days upcoming, is that what else is there that I can do as an individual or my organization can do to support the Cleveland Metropolitan School District? And Eric, as you know, I shared with you at our table that just last Friday, in a partnership with Buckeye Health and with Cuyahoga Community College, and if those partners are here, if you would just stand quickly. If you're here, okay, thank you. We gave away over 1,500 supplies, book bags of supplies. And we are going to continue to do that. And I made a pledge today at the table with Eric that next year we will do ours very close to the drive that CMSD does, so that if we run out, we can continue to refer and we can increase our ability together to serve more families. So the work of partnerships is powerful. Partnership and collaboration is in the DNA of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, and we're proud to be your Urban League here to serve. Thank you for being able to be your honorary co-chair this year, Eric. We appreciate you and we celebrate CMSD. Thank you.
So we are almost there. We work really hard to start on time and end on time at 1:30. But what's between that and the door is me. So I want to take the opportunity just to thank all of the people who made today happen. First, if I could just ask all of the Army of Believers Committee to please stand or step out onto the stage and be recognized. This is a volunteer project of employee educators of the district that puts this together every year. Thank you. I was asked by one of our co-chairs whether they were allowed to go home early, and I said, oh, of course not. So thank you to all of you. This, again, is a voluntary project that our educators choose to do in addition to their full-time jobs for kids. I also want to make sure that we thank our 1, 2, 3, and 4-star generals. They are in the back of your program, and I would encourage you and ask you, please take a moment to take a look. This year we had 12 4-star generals, 13 3-star generals, 19 2-star generals, and several dozen 1-star generals, and it's because of you that this room is full and that these students are going away with scholarships and their technology package. So thank you, and please help me thank all of those who contributed today. Help me thank them. I've had a really hard time today, as my board knows if they looked at their board note, and the technical term I introduced today was "Geez-o man." So that was another "Geez-o man" moment. Thank you to all of those who have contributed. A special thank you to our Mistress of Ceremony, Christine Fowler-Mack. Would you please rise? She does this every year. We have a token of our appreciation that the committee will be bringing to your table. Thank you. An incredible thank you to our co-chairs, Marcia Maccabee and Augie Napoli. Would you both please stand? Thank you for bringing our occasion and our charge. We also have a token of our appreciation for each of you. I want to say again, Marcia actually drove here this morning from her national conference to celebrate our kids and those who have championed our kids, and after this luncheon is literally getting back in the car to go back to the conference. That's a believer. Thank you to both Augie and Marcia. To our CMSD educators, every one of us who works with children in this district is an educator, whether we're a teacher, a principal, a CEO, a portfolio officer, a cook, a cleaner, a bus driver, or a security officer. We have an incredibly dedicated team of 7,500 educators. Would all of our educators in the room please stand and be recognized as we kick off the 2018-19 school year, which already started for some and starts for the rest in a few days. To our student volunteers in the audience, our jazz band, our summer high school and college interns, and our Closing the Achievement Gap young men who greeted you and volunteered today, would you stand to be recognized? These are all students who are volunteering their time today. We're almost there. To our 5-star generals, one more time, please have the 5-star generals stand and be recognized. Thank you for all you have done for literally generations for the kids of Cleveland. And to our scholarship recipients, please stand so that we can once again congratulate you on your successes earned and the successes you will achieve. Stay standing for a moment, and please invite your families and caregivers to stand with you, because your families and caregivers saw you to this day. Congratulations to this year's 19 scholarship recipients. Thank you to everyone in this room. I'm going to close with just one anecdote that I don't think I'm supposed to tell, but I'm the CEO, so I can. This, as you heard Christine Fowler-Mack share, is our largest scholarship class yet. What we didn't share is that when this group interviewed, the interview team huddled in a room and got into a hopeless jury deadlock and could not decide who the recipients should be, and ultimately decided that because of the generosity in this room, that we have enough dollars, we would increase the awards to include all 19 students. So thank you to everyone for allowing dreams to come true. As you exit, please take pictures in front of the screens in the back. Take pictures of each other and of our students and our awardees, and post them on your social media, #AOB 2018. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next year.